So I stayed in a hostel in America. These are my experiences. Hey y'all, it's KC. I know. What the hell made me stay in a hostel at the age of 30 as a black person? Like, have I never seen the movie? Yes, I've seen the movie. As soon as I got back, those were the questions a lot of my friends, I don't have a lot of friends. Those were the questions my few friends were asking me whenever I got back, and I just wanted to take some time to address some of those things and talk a little bit about my experience staying in a hostel in America. So the first question I want to address is, why did I even choose a hostel? To be honest, the biggest reason was price. The average nightly price for a hotel in San Francisco is about $215, and that's not really for a nice hotel. It's for a decent hotel. But to me, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense to spend over $600 because I was planning on spending most of my days in San Francisco out and about and just exploring the city. And I'll be completely honest, I was pretty scared. I remember seeing a hostel when I was in high school thinking, I will never stay in a hostel. And that movie was pretty effed up. But since my focus for 2019 really has been about my own personal growth, I felt like staying in a hostel would push me outside of my comfort zone. But I will say it wasn't quite what I expected. I figured it would be loud, be a little smelly, a lot of people in their late teens, early 20s, partying, drinking, just being wild and crazy. And I honestly expected not to get a lot of sleep. Some of the positives that I was hoping to get out of it was, one, meeting new people, especially other people that love to travel the way that I do, and just hearing about what their travels have been like, things that I should check out, places that I should maybe avoid, places that I should eat. I think that's a really cool way to grow and learn, and also just have a better overall traveling experience whenever I do travel to different places. And thirdly, there's a puppy that stays there, and y'all know how we are about dogs. Sorry, Red's running around. Good job, Red. So besides the puppy, I want to talk about how I went about choosing this particular hostel. The things that I was primarily looking for was affordability, queer friendliness, and just in a part of town that felt really walkable to me, but also safe to walk at night just in case I did decide to go out. I felt like this hostel was priced very reasonably. They all seemed to be between $50 and $60 a night, and so this one in particular stood out to me because while a lot of them did say that they were open and accepting to, all walks of life, this one actually had a very, very, very big picture of the California Republic rainbow flag right in the living room. And just the overall vibe that I got from just looking at the pictures looked like a place that I would really dig. Dig? Do I say dig? We'll go with it. Dig. This one really just stood out to me, and I was super excited to get to San Francisco to check this place out. So the hostel was run by these two guys named Duncan and Zane. I actually only met Duncan, and he seemed like a really, really cool guy. Seemed super, super intelligent, and boy's got some pipes. He was walking through the house singing one day whenever I got back, and yeah, Duncan, you can sing, boy. It also checked off my third item, being in a very walkable neighborhood. It was actually right in the Mission District, not too far from the Castro, and I think it was only about half a mile, maybe a mile to Dolores Park, which was one place that I definitely wanted to check out while I was there. The only thing that it didn't have were lockers, but that turned out not to be as big of a deal as I thought it was. And it was a super easy check-in. It was just like a little gate entry code that I let myself in. And one of the very first things that I saw was on the fridge, it said all food is communal, which I thought was really cool. I'll leave a link below so that you all can check out the hostel, check out the pictures. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about the people that were staying there. Basically, as soon as I got there, at least within the first hour that I got there, I actually met two people from Texas. One was from Houston and one was from Austin. I also met someone from Europe who was just doing a little road trip around California, and he was actually headed to, I believe, Montreal next. Staying in a place with a bunch of strangers from all over the place really teaches you how to interact with and get along with a lot of different people, and being able to adapt very quickly to different personalities. So what did I learn from this experience? Well, first, I learned to really push my comfort zone, and I've constantly tried to put myself in more uncomfortable positions than I ever have before, and this is probably one of the top ones. I've realized that my comfort zone has grown so much, and I'm constantly pushing the boundaries of it. I'm honestly really excited to see what's next for me. I've always kind of felt like I need the perfect sleeping conditions to get a good night's rest, and this taught me that that is not true. Sleeping in a room full of people you don't know, in bunk beds, in a twin bed. I haven't slept in a twin bed since college, and I thought that was going to be a lot harder than what it was. Granted, one day I did walk about 16 miles. The next day I think I walked about 8 miles, and Megan and I biked about 25 miles the day before, so it could have been a combination of being really, really tired and worn out. But I slept really, really well, and that just kind of taught me I can probably really sleep anywhere. Probably one of the biggest things that I learned was how much better and how much more comfortable I feel managing my anxiety. And not really in a social anxiety type of way. I just don't really like being in crowds of people or being around people that I don't know as well. But I was able to manage my anxiety at the hostel, but then also just like out in San Francisco in general. Honestly, a lot better than what I thought I was going to. This isn't really one that I learned, but I think it's one that I pushed my limits on this entire trip, was just living simply. I traveled out to California with one bag. I was out there for 5 days and didn't need anything else. All of my clothes for 5 days, my toiletries, all of my vlogging gear, everything fit in that one bag, and I was not missing anything at all. I think it just helped me gain more confidence in my ability to live more simply, and yeah, maybe one day Megan will let us do van life. I'm working on her. I've never had to share a room. I take that back. I shared a room in college, but that's been over 10 years now. Has it? It's been almost 10 years. Wow. You kind of get into this rhythm of my space, and I'm very selfish with my space, but I feel like staying in the hostel makes you be more open to sharing your space, but then also just making sure your stuff is put away, making sure your stuff is clean, making sure you're not impeding anyone else's functioning for the day. And lastly, people are really nice. I think in 2019, it's easy to get caught up in all the bad that's going on in the world, or at least all the bad that the media is showing you, but travelers are really, really nice, and we all are out here just trying to experience different things, and seeing how many people that were just open and accepting of me and who I am, and being willing to talk about anything. I got into some really great discussions with people about relationships, and especially long distance relationships, once they found out what we were doing on YouTube. And I've never really had those kinds of deep conversations with complete strangers. So would I do it again? Definitely. And I would want to do it even better. I feel like because I was so wrapped up in exploring the city, I didn't get to be at the hostel as much. But it would have been really cool to maybe grab dinner with some people, or grab drinks with some people, or just sit in the common room and talk about different things and connect on a deeper level. So yeah, I would definitely do it again, and if for anything, just to keep pushing my comfort zone. And I really think that travel can make us better human beings. I believe that getting to know people from other cultures, learning about different cultures, and really understanding what's important to other people who were raised differently than us, raised in a different area than us, can really help us be more understanding and loving as people, period. Would I recommend you do it? Yeah, for sure. If not for anything else, just to save money. I know hostels in other parts of the world, you can get them cheaper than $10 a night, which you can't really beat when you're trying to experience another culture, another region, another country as cheaply as possible, because travel is not cheap whatsoever. And then also, I'm gonna stress it again, just being able to meet new people. I think staying in a hostel is something, especially as a traveler, you should experience at least once, just to see if you can do it and say that you've done it. And if I can find more hostels just like that, you can guarantee that I will be booking them, because that was a really, really cool experience. Duncan and Zane, thank you so much for opening up your place to us fellow travelers. Next time I travel to San Francisco, I will definitely plan on staying there again because that spot was exactly what I was looking for. As always, if you all enjoyed today's video and want to see more from Meg and I, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe right there, and we will see you all in the next video. We're out. Yo, my little queer heart is so happy. It's just I'm about to skip up and down this damn street.